Man, only 2 days left for the Bitcoin halving. It's gonna be really exciting, and Bitcoin and altcoins still having a pretty decent correction right now, which in my opinion is really one of the last buying opportunities that we get, guys. So I think that this is super important, and you should definitely not fade crypto right now. So let's take a look at the strategy that I am applying to make sure that I'm very comfortable after this bull market, and hopefully you are too. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check out the Patreon down below. We got great exclusive and seed sales and private sales and wallet trackers from Alex Becker, Crypto Got John, etc., etc. But let's get into the content, man. Now let's first take a look at Bitcoin, what it's doing right now. Bitcoin is nothing crazy, actually. If you look at this, Bitcoin is sitting in a range at the moment. The top side of the range is 73k and the downside of the range is 61k, give or take, and we are now more at the downside of the range. So that is not it's not looking bearish or anything. I mean, we went up, like that's what we do, right? We go up, we range, we go up, we range, we go up, we range, right? The uptrend is fully intact, looks super bullish on crypto, at least for Bitcoin. The thing is, the Bitcoin dominance also went up and therefore altcoins went down. So altcoins are not ranging, right? Altcoins were ranging and they broke down and they retested this resistance that we were in January, basically, right? We retested it perfectly. Well, perfectly, we went a little below it, but we retested it, and now we are slightly above it, holding it, and we are holding the bull market support band. Now, that's, like I said, one of the indicators that tells me, like, guys, altcoins, if you look at this altcoin chart, there is nothing bearish about it, okay? Although every portfolio out there took an intense hit, you have to put things in perspective. It went up so hard, right? And now we see a little red, and that feels bearish. But there's nothing bearish about this chart. We make higher lows, higher highs, the uptrend is still intact, we are above the bull market support band, we are retesting a previous breakout level. It's looking really good, actually. And we are actually just at the level where we were 7 weeks ago, right? So it took us 7 weeks back in time. That's all it did, right? So it gives us another great buying opportunity. Therefore, I feel like this might be one of the last opportunities that we have to buy altcoins. Now, I am applying a certain strategy that works very well for me, and I'm going to share that. But first, in this video, I will also ask you a question. Get the answer right, leave a comment. I'm gonna pick a winner that gets $50 to say thanks for the attention in the videos so far. It is so important, in my opinion, to have a long-term mindset. And with a long-term mindset, I mean at least until the end of this bull market, right? If you look at charts and you look too much on the daily or even the 4 hour, which I never use actually, yeah, then you can turn very bearish, of course, while things are actually not bearish. Because, yeah, I mean, we have high, we have a lower high, we have a lower high, we have a low, we have a lower low, right? The short term is not bullish. But I'm not planning on selling in the short term. So why should I care about that, right? And if you are planning on investing now to sell at hopefully as close as in the top of this bull market, then you should not really care about these time frames. So let that go. And let's take a look at the real perspective that we should have, actually. So because we are holding this bull market support band, I feel like we should, DCA right now. If you look at the last bull market, we also here, for example, we went up very hard, and there we had a correction of 30%, and that freaked people out as well, right? People thought like, fuck, my portfolio's cut in half, it's all going to shit. While in reality, we were just finding support right here and we were slowly climbing up, right? Now, the boring thing is, though, we came down, and from that point, it took around 17 weeks of slowly grinding before we had a new parabolic run. But this makes it way more sustainable. If you only do this, if you go really vertical, then it's usually not that sustainable. Now, we went vertical, right? So I wouldn't mind if the altcoin market slowly does this over time. Is what I would prefer, right? Of course, I would prefer that it does this, right? So we're all rich tomorrow, but that's not going to happen anyway. But if it just slowly grinds up, then we know like, hey, it is healthy. And we can expect a major leg up, and we don't have a big chance of just breaking down like that. Okay. This also gives people the time to slowly dollar cost into their favorite altcoins. I mean, you might have a job, you might have, I don't know, a passive income with crypto, whatever it might be. But you might have more money next month than this month. And you want to apply that by putting it into crypto, right? Then you don't want this to go like up, right? Because then there's a lot of money that you cannot put into the market yet. So it would be good. It would be beneficial to a lot of people. Right now, if we look, where in the market are we? Well, we are here, of course. But if you look at where in the cycle are we are at the week of the halving. The halving is in 2 days from now. Right, and if we do take a look at the last cycle and the halving that came, right? Because this is the altcoin chart, right? So let's put the halvings on the altcoin chart as well and see how altcoins responded to the halving. So this is what we get. We had the halving right here in 2020, and we had the halving in 2016. Now, what happened after these halvings? It's not that the halving itself has a short-term price impact, really, because in the week of the halving, altcoins went up with 5%, and a week later they went down with 1% or 2%. So that wasn't nothing too crazy. But the halving makes sure that long-term crypto has more fuel. And you can see that after the halving came, it started to, dedicated go up right here, right? And within a matter of between April and let's say December 2020, the altcoin market did almost a 3x. Right, so it looks like a slow grind, but it's very sustainably watching your portfolio go up, and then after a while, boom, an explosion to the upside. Beautiful, beautiful, of course. If we look at the halving before that, went a little faster, but after that, fast period, it cooled off as well, right? So we had the halving in May 2016. We did nothing until July 2016, and then boom, we had a month with 124% candle after, or a week even. After that, another 11%, and then slowly, all these gains were disappeared, right? We were back at this point basically. And from then, it took like, I don't know, man, from August until January, that it was really doing nothing, and then we started to grind up again, right? That's why we got our parabolic bull market. These are like two halvings. I don't know if it's going to do the same right now, but it's not that the halving usually does this or this, right? The halving usually does a little more of this. So don't be too fascinated about the halving, and don't expect too much in the shorter term. Longer term, it should be really bullish for what we are about to expect. Now, what's a big subject, of course, at the moment is altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, right? Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, they've broken down. A lot of them, they are not looking so good. And that tells me like, hey, nice, we get a new opportunity. This is the Bitcoin dominance, excluding stables, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP. And the Bitcoin dominance, it's going up again, but still it is a lower high right here, right? So yeah, of course, the Bitcoin dominance is doing well, but that's mainly because Ethereum, Cardano, XRP are the laggers, right? And if you take those away, then it's definitely not doing that great. So altcoins still doing better than Bitcoin, but took a big hit. If you look, for example, I've been very bullish on IMX, for example, right? And IMX, if you look at this chart, looks pretty good. Like, it looks pretty good. It had a hard run. It broke this resistance, and now it's retesting that resistance. So that's fine. It's sitting quite high. If you look at IMX on its Bitcoin pair, though, it's sitting more at the downside of the range, right? Sitting more at the downside of the range. So if you have Bitcoin, Yeah, I've put some Bitcoin in IMX. Could it go lower? Yeah, of course it could go lower, but it's sitting more at the downside than at the top. So then I feel like, yeah, it might be worth, buying into it before it goes to the upside again and maybe even breaks out from there. And if you look at a lot of altcoins on their Bitcoin pair compared to the dollar pair, they look completely different, right? If you look at AVAX, for example, AVAX is looking quite good, although it took a big hit as well. But still, if you take it from the bottom until where we are right now, we are up with 300%. So AVAX still sits quite high compared to where it came from. If you look at AVAX Bitcoin, you see like, it's coming quite close to the downside. This is not up 300%. This is at the moment up 84%. That's a huge difference. So if you have Bitcoin, then you can buy your altcoins a lot cheaper. That's because Bitcoin went up so much compared to most altcoins. So that's a strategy that we applied for a long time on this channel. And that still works out. I mean, Volker Forged on its Bitcoin pair made a new low. Traded Joe sitting at its lows. Link is sitting at its lows. Quant made new low. Yeah, made a new low last week. Beam is really going down quite hard on its Bitcoin pair as well. Even Solana took a hit of 30% against Bitcoin, right? Against Bitcoin. So you lost 30% of your Bitcoin value. That's a shame. But still at the bull market support band right here. Right, so it's not that bad. Uniswap made a new low. I took a big position in Uniswap. I think it's pretty obvious, like the multi-chain DEX with a lot of fees that are generated. It's not going away. DeFi is here to stay. Not everybody is going to make use of these big exchanges. So Uniswap will probably perform very well. But not as long as we're not seeing a alt season yet. Now, what's an alt season? Again, for the people that have no clue, it's where the dominance goes down, right? Although the dominance slowly went down over the last year, overall, the big picture is that it went up quite hard. So we have not seen an alt season at all, although altcoins and some altcoins performed very well. It didn't even came close to an alt season, right? So if your altcoins performed well, then probably you have fun times ahead, because if it eventually comes, then your altcoins completely blow up, right? Because again, I can't express it. Some people say like, yeah, it's a little alt season. No. Has this chart gone down? Like, come on. This was an alt season, right? This little dip right here, it's not an alt season. We haven't seen anything like it yet, but that's yet to come. That is yet to come. If you look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, they bottomed at a beautiful support level right here. Okay, I don't know if it's going to hold, but it is a strong level. Okay, so I feel like altcoins might play catch up at Bitcoin pretty soon. And that would be very good for your portfolio. Therefore, I think this is one of the last moments we get to really buy the dip. Because again, if we look back at the last cycle, this is kind of where we are. We are at the week of the halving. We are sitting basically right on top of the bull market support band, which we are right now as well, right? If you didn't buy here, then what was the next best opportunity? A week later, or a week later, or a week later. But we didn't get a better opportunity in the last cycle. And I'm not saying that it will play out like this, but this is looking pretty similar so far. If we look at the cycle before that, also we are at the week of the halving, sitting quite close to the bull market support band. Did we get a better buying opportunity after that? No, we did not. We did not. Yeah, we had a wick right here, but we did not get a better buying opportunity. Therefore, all I can say right now is we applied so many strategies on this channel. We did so well. We made a lot of money using these new line shares, getting into nodes early, etc. For now, the only logical thing I can say is don't go all in right now. It can go down, right? But don't wait for it to go down, because there's also a very good chance that it won't. DCA, 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 right? Whether you DCA already here, and then maybe here if it goes down, or if it goes up, DCA there. DCA is the way. That's the only logical thing that I can say at this point. Dollar cost average. Every week, every day, every month, what applies best for you, slowly put your money into crypto. Whether it's altcoins, Bitcoin, that's the only two options. Altcoins or Bitcoin. That's what I am doing right now. It sounded like financial advice, like, but do it. But that's what I'm doing. And that's what I would suggest if anybody would ask me what I think the best strategy is, right? We are resetting the greed. We are resetting the complete momentum. We are resetting the prices. And we won't get a lot of these opportunities. If you look at the Fear and Greed Index, it's now 67. It came down pretty decent. If you look at it, it was sitting at 83 not too long ago. If you take it over the last 3 months, it was sitting at 90, right? 90. That's really high. That's really high. That's a lot of greed, right? And it's very simple. Sell the greed. Okay, sell the greed. We all know that, right? Sell the greed, buy the fear. Nevertheless, people were buying the greed. 5th of March, the greed was all over the place. If we look at the altcoin market again, I can give Bitcoin as an example, but we are all more interested in altcoins at this point, I assume. 5th of March was here. Here, the greed was the highest at this huge wick, right? So people bought here. Right, therefore the chart went up. So people bought the greed. And are these people now in a good position? Well, we are now here, right? So basically everybody that bought in the last, month at least, should be down. Exceptions are there, but overall, the rule is people that bought here went down. Right, so that's one. Like, if you're looking for a good buying selling indicator, the Fear and Greed Index is a very simple chart that actually works. It doesn't give you the exact timing and the top and the bottom, but overall, if you just look at this and you buy whenever it's like 60, 70 or lower, and you sell whenever it's like 85 or higher, if you apply something like that, you should do pretty fine. Right? We can make it very complicated in crypto, but this is something you can apply and you will do well. Also, if you look at the people that are interested in crypto at the moment, I don't know what the fuck happened right here. But we got a wick down. I don't even know if this is correct. I very much wonder if that's correct. Let's take a look. If you only look at YouTube views, you can see that the YouTube views went down very hard. I noticed on my channel as well, by the way. People were watching more over here. It's funny. It's how it works, right? But people are less interested in crypto. They feel like, it went down and it's now going, so it's a little boring. Fuck that. I'm going to do something else. Oh, I wish I could speak to these people, right? Because the time to do something else is here. Here, the crypto is going down, right? Here, you should be out of the market, right? You can learn about crypto and build something, but for most people, it's about investing. Here, you should not give a fuck. Here, you should give a fuck. Here, this is, again, in my opinion, whether we take a huge, another 40, 50% hit on the altcoin market or not, both possible. It is the time to be here. It is, in my opinion, really the time to get into it right now. Really, really. And people felt like, fuck that, I'm out. It's stupid how it works. It's also interesting that at least the people that are still here, you can say to yourself like, oh my God, I'm going to outperform all these people right now. They're not here. They are not buying. I'm buying low right now. And when we go up again, you'll notice that the blue line, Bitcoin, red line, people interested. When we go up again, other people will get interested again. And I already have my position, right? It's funny. I think that Twitter exchanges, something happened right there because that took a huge hit. It's sitting at 0 right now, so I don't know exactly what was going on over there. But that makes it go down pretty hard, as well as Twitter layer ones. Yeah, something was wrong with Twitter. But also, we can just definitely see by the amount of YouTube views, it went down quite hard, right? If you look at the YouTube subscribers, yeah, it took a little hit, but still up quite decent. But overall, people are losing interest. People are losing interest. Now, that's fine. Whenever we look at previous cycles, right? When was the best moment to buy crypto? Apart from looking at the chart, right? When people have no interest, right? We're sitting here. If you look at this right here, these low levels was also when Bitcoin was low. These low levels right here when Bitcoin was low. If no one cares, get in. That's the biggest thing. And to wrap it up, a little bullish. If you look at the logarithmic regression band for Bitcoin, right? If we talk about Bitcoin, then you can assume that altcoins are going to follow, right? So if you look at this for Bitcoin, you can see we are in the green zone, in the lower band, right? That's where we are right now, in the green. Was there a cycle ever where sitting in the green band was not a good buying opportunity? I mean, green, great buying opportunity. Like, yeah, of course, here better than here, but still, right? Whenever we are in the lower band, was a great buying opportunity because we always go to the red, right? To the upper band. Great buying opportunity, all the way up. 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 Great buying opportunity, all the way up, right? So far, this is indicating like, hey, it might feel like we are already high, right? Sitting at new all-time highs. Nevertheless, last cycle when Bitcoin was just sitting at its all-time high, right? If we go back to Bitcoin, to give you a little perspective, right? When we go to the last cycle, right, which was over here, Bitcoin was sitting at 20K. Bitcoin was sitting at around that all-time high, right? In November, December 2020. If we go to the altcoin market and we go to November, December 2020, how did it look back then? November, December 2020 was here, right? So that was here. What happened after that? That was where the parabolic move happened, right? Altcoins were slowly going up, but nothing too spectacular yet, right? We're going sideways. And then boom, parabolic, right? Might it be that we do the same right now? Might it be that we are now, slowly going up also around that bull market support band like we did over here, right? And we went up, down, up, down, up, down, like up, down, up, down, up, down. And then boom, parabolic bull market. At a certain point, boom, right? It's pointing to 20 trillion. I definitely don't think, but definitely do hope so. But so far, history is showing us like, hey, whatever kind of emotion you have right now, turn it off. Look at the chart and buy. That's all we need to do. If we look at the stochastic RSI, one thing left, then you see that it's on the weekly getting a nice reset. That's good, right? It's getting a nice reset. Why is that good? Because this is a momentum indicator. Whenever it's sitting at low levels right here, what happened after that went from 200 billion to 400 billion, right? After this move right here, the altcoin market doubled in price. Whenever it was sitting here, was also at the low point, went up. Whenever it was, I don't know, just pointing something out, right? Whenever it was sitting here, went up. That was where it went from 88 billion to 160 billion, also doubled, right? We are now getting to these low levels again. So it could go lower, it could go a little sideways, whatever. But at a certain point, when it's going up again, the altcoin market should be ready for its next leg up. Okay. So I think that it's going to be very bullish. The question for the giveaway, I I did a live stream yesterday. How long did the live stream took? Let me know in the comments down below. Very easy question. I just want to know if people watch my videos still until the end, because these people deserve to make it, and these are the people that I'm doing it for. So shout out to you if you're really here still. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm tired. My kid didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I'm gonna get some coffee. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. See you soon.